So, I just got to see the brand new Jerry Seinfeld directed movie called Unfrosted. This is a comedy movie about the creation of the Pop-Tart, which on paper sounded so exciting. I was so pumped for this movie because I love Jerry Seinfeld. I am a huge fan of Seinfeld and of Jerry Seinfeld, the human being. I'm also a big fan of the New York Mets. So, of course, Jerry, he's our guy. He's like our main celebrity that likes our team. This movie also stars a bunch of other people, mainly Melissa McBride, but there are so many cameos and so many different random people that show up in this movie that I can't even begin to get into it. And although I was really excited for this movie, because a lot of movies like this, even if they're not great, they still tend to be fun. Like that Flaming Hot movie from last year about the creation of the Flaming Hot Cheetos. I enjoyed that movie. Although it's not the greatest thing ever, I liked it. I was expecting more of the same here. Unfortunately, this one's kind of a stinker. I'm gonna try to figure out why. I don't know what went wrong here. This is like an overproduced, over-edited, just saturated sort of mess. It's something that I think somewhere in the editing room or in the ideas room before the movie was made, there could have been a really fun, interesting Pop-Tart movie made, but it just felt so overdone with how much is going on, how many characters are popping in and out, how much music, the amount of random usage of music in this movie is absurd, and just, it doesn't go anywhere that interesting, and it just wasn't great. Let's start with the acting. Jerry Seinfeld, he does his thing in this movie. If you're expecting Jerry Seinfeld to turn out a, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, A24 level, Sundance Film Festival performance, where he's just pulling at some emotional strings that are just, you couldn't even fathom it being possible, guess what? He doesn't do that. You know what he does? He plays Jerry Seinfeld. And if you like Jerry Seinfeld, you'll like what he's doing here. Melissa McCarthy. She plays Melissa McCarthy. Have you ever seen any Melissa McCarthy movie ever? That's her performance in this film, just without some of the cursing that she does in some of them. Hugh Grant is also in this film. I like Hugh Grant a lot, and I like when he shows up in movies. I just feel like what he did in this movie, for some reason I kept thinking about Willy Wonka in his performance there. It's not that similar, but it's similar enough. Amy Schumer's in this movie, and I'm not going to mention her again outside of right now, but she's in this movie. She's in it all right. This is a really weird film, man. It tries to tell this story about this kind of war that's going on between Kellogg's and Post, and it's supposed to be silly and fun and goofy and satirical, but the comedy never hits. The comedy in this movie is very rarely funny. The only time this movie got laughs out of me is when they were bringing in some of the cameos that happen in this film. Outside of those cameos, every time they tried telling a joke, there was like a silence in my room, which there usually is when I watch comedies anyway, because I don't laugh at anything. I'm a sick fuck. But mentally, I didn't even find it funny, and it was just, it was appalling in here watching this movie. It's bad. What I'm trying to say is the movie's just not that funny, and maybe other people, listen, comedy is completely up to your opinion. Maybe you'll find this movie absolutely hilarious. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that find Schindler's List hilarious, but it doesn't mean it's a funny movie. And that's this movie's main problem. This movie kind of lives or dies on if it's funny or not, and it just ends up being kind of childish and just plays it close to the chest, and it felt soulless. Now, like I said, there are cameos in this movie. I'm about to spoil some of them, so if you didn't know these people are in the movie, I'm sorry. Bill Burr plays JFK. Best part of the whole fucking movie. Anytime Bill Burr was on screen, Bill Burr himself is just an odyssey. He is arguably the best comedian we have, and him playing JFK, I would pay so much money to see an entire John F. Kennedy biopic starring Bill Burr. That would be absolute gold, and what he does in this movie is great. It's the funniest part of the movie, because it's just Bill Burr being JFK. What more can you ask for? Peter Dinklage shows up in this movie too, and yet again, it's something that's weird with Peter Dinklage. It just, for some reason, happens all the time. Anytime he appears in a movie, a TV show, whatever, he ends up being the best frickin' part of it. Yeah! I said it! Peter Dinklage steals this movie in the one scene he's in. He's incredible. His acting, he's just one of those actors that just brings a different vibe and a different standard to every scene that he's in, to every performance that he gives. He is so incredibly talented, and he understands how to grip the audience into everything he's doing. Every eye movement, every pronunciation of every word he says. He is just such a gripping, talented man. Great job in this movie. The one scene he did, give him an Oscar. Why not? Dean Norris is in this movie. He plays Nikita Khrushchev. Don't really have much to say about it.
Hey there, sussy gussies. What up, primals?
Oh, and then they bring in John Hamm playing the dude that he played in frickin' Mad Men. That was cool. I never watched Mad Men, I'm assuming if you have watched Mad Men, that's probably a really cool moment. For me, I was like, is he playing the guy from that TV show I didn't watch? Yes, he is. Wow. Doesn't make the movie better, does it? I don't know, man. The cameos were a lot of fun. It felt like Spider-Man No Way Home. Just these random people showing up and doing fun stuff. And it made me pop a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But anytime this movie was Jerry Seinfeld and Melissa McCarthy, them just hanging out, trying to invent the Pop-Tart, trying to make this shit happen, I was bored. And I wasn't laughing, and I was waiting for it to end so I could record this review that it shouldn't even waste my time recording, but here I am, I'm already like 5 minutes into this thing. Overall, I was not a fan of Unfrosted. I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5. It's not offensive, so it's not gonna get a 1, but it's bad. It's bad. But maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll find it absolutely hilarious, you sick fucks. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one.